Hey, it's Ethan Skolnick for 5 Reasons Sports, and this is the latest season tickets. The news came today, as expected, because we knew it would be sometime this week, that Goran Dragic has decided to sign with the Brooklyn Nets. And that was a mild surprise. I think most of us had him pegged for Milwaukee. The Bucks need guards right now, and obviously the Bucks are well positioned to make another run for the Eastern Conference Finals, or perhaps even another championship. But the Nets had a pull on him. We knew that. I remember having many conversations with Goran Dragic about his relationship with Steve Nash. He looked at Steve Nash not just as a mentor, somebody who took him under his wing, but also as an example. Goran used to talk often about how Nash won MVPs in his 30s, which one of the few players to actually win them as late as Nash did, and that Dragic thought that he could be a really productive player in his 30s, and we've seen he can be. But he's not the same player that he was, and the Heat really were not interested in a reunion right now. We reported that a few days ago. Clearly there was interest from Goran. He's been here in Miami. Obviously has not been with the Toronto Raptors. He was dealing with some personal things as well, and he came here home. And he still considers the Miami organization to be home. But the Heat really believe in Gabe Vincent. That's what was told to me by many people inside and outside the organization. They didn't want to do anything to kind of stunt Gabe's progress at this point. They think he can handle the backup point guard role. And remember, Victor Oladipo is maybe a couple of weeks away from returning. So you already had a minutes crunch there in the backcourt. And so they just didn't feel that bringing in Dragic would help the situation. They thought it would actually hurt it. Now, I would look at the future, though. I think there's a real possibility of Goran Dragic being here this summer. You know, again, this is home for him. I don't think Brooklyn is going to be a permanent place that he lives. That feels a little bit like a mercenary team anyway. And I think Dragic will try to get back here, and I think the Heat will be more interested at that point. And the reason is they may make some trades. There are going to be some players who go out, and the ability to be able to bring in Dragic, say if you deal one of the guards, I think is something that they'll look seriously at. So I wouldn't rule out a Goran Dragic reunion in the future, like we saw a Dwayne Wade reunion late in his career. But remember, Dwayne went to a couple of teams, then he came back. Goran's going to go to one team. Just to close, I think this is the best case scenario for the Heat, actually. Now, look, would you rather have him in the West? Maybe. I thought Phoenix could get involved with Chris Paul's injury. Dragic obviously didn't leave Phoenix on the best terms, but most of that was due to a general manager who's not there anymore. And I know James Jones has a lot of respect for his game. And then Dallas. But here's the thing about Dallas. You know, Dallas he might have stayed with permanently. So if you want Dragic to be back with the Heat at some point, if he went to go play with Luka, he probably wasn't going to finish his career in Miami. So it really came down to Brooklyn or Milwaukee. I think you'd rather have him in Brooklyn. He's going to be a Kyrie replacement for now, but the Nets already have a lot of guys who don't defend well on the perimeter. I mean, they added Ben Simmons, but the others, I'm not necessarily sure that he helps them on that end, and I don't know what kind of playing time he's going to get going forward. With Milwaukee, with DiVincenzo traded, with some other older guards there, with Connaughton out for a month, I thought he could have been a serious factor for the Bucks. I don't think he's going to be that kind of a factor for the Nets. So, we'll see what happens with Dragic. But again, not going to happen now. Could happen this summer. Don't be mad at him. Again, this was more the Heat than him. If they'd wanted him, I believe he would have been here.